guns are not going to fight the virus. What will fight the virus is people staying home and isolating themselves and not having birthday parties and weddings and clustering together in big groups.
Arrogant, stupid, totally uneducated, nasty. That's the face of it right there. Laura Curran. Tim Schmidt is president of the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. He joins us tonight. Tim, thanks so much for coming on. I mean, it does seem pretty clear that when you trust that the authorities are going to keep you safe, you're probably not fixated on protecting yourself, because you don't have to be. People know that they need to protect themselves, correct?
Of course, Tucker. And as you were talking about before, our law enforcement professionals and police departments, they had their hands full before the coronavirus. And so now it's only going to be worse. Now more than ever, people need to understand that they need to be their family's first line of defense.
Well, of course. And by the way, I thought there was a constitutional right guaranteeing that. And if there was ever a moment to invoke it, it's now. So how can leaders like, if air quotes around it, leaders like Laura Curran, the woman we just saw right there from Nassau County, New York, how can how can any of them get in the way of your constitutional right to protect yourself?
Well, you're right. They shouldn't be. And I honestly applaud all these brand new people that are buying guns. But, Tucker, what I'm about to say is going to become a little bit of a shock to you, especially coming from a guy like me. And that is that so many, 90% of these brand new people buying guns have never owned guns before. They've probably never even touched a gun. And that means they're untrained. Now, don't get me wrong, Tucker. I personally think that firearm ownership is a natural-born right of free people, but with that right comes a tremendous responsibility, and that responsibility is to be trained. And so I will make a request right now. If you're watching this and you just bought a gun for self-defense, get training. Get training as fast as you can, whether it's in person or even online. It will help you be a better defender, which we all know you're going to have to be.
I think that's really wise advice. And anyone who's hunted a lot or has had guns, tend to have real respect for firearms because they're dangerous tools. Thanks so much for that, Tim. We appreciate you coming on tonight.
My pleasure, Tucker.